Hi, I'm Gary Bartz and I play the saxophone. I also compose music and I also teach. And I understand I'm talking to some students. Um, I guess I will start off by saying if you started performing and learning and studying music off of a written page, you started backwards. Um, any great musician that I've ever heard or read about or listened to the music of were writing music at a very early age, a lot of times even before they could write their names in their language that they spoke. That includes Mozart, Beethoven, probably Bach, you name it. But the ear has to come first. Nothing comes before your ears, because if you never heard music, then you wouldn't know you even wanted to perform or listen or whatever. So to me, nothing is more important than your ears. And I find that a lot of students that are coming into the school system nowadays, the first time they ever played a note of music was to a written page. And so consequently their ears have been locked. I've been seeing a lot of locked up ears coming into the academia. And I've had to devise different ways to unlock ears and open them up and even let them recognize that that is a problem. One way that you know it's a problem and you know that you need to trust your ears at all points is you are always the first one to know when there's a mistake being made. If you play a wrong note, your ears will tap you on your shoulder and say, look, that's wrong. And your ears are never wrong. I've never, I won't say never, that's very, you can't go that far, but 99, 100, I'm like ivory soap. Your ears are like ivory soap. 99, 100% they're right. So I always go with my ears. I know if I've learned a new song and I'm having trouble performing it or can't remember it, I will immediately forget about any notes and just go right to my ears and play what I hear, because I trust my ears so much. And it's something that I think, and I was talking earlier today, I think that's why you don't really hear any or too many innovations or too many new ideas in music nowadays, because ears are locked. In order for the music to grow, your ears have to be wide open. They have to be like antennas, and they have to go out and pull things from out of wherever the music comes from. And if the ears are locked, it cannot do that. The antennas are not up, and so we need that. That's a very important thing. That's the first thing I would like to impart. A second pet peeve of mine lately has been to do away with this word improvisation. Improvisation means off of the top of your head, and I beg to differ. Everything that I play, I mean to play that. It's never coming from all of a sudden. It's things I've worked on, things I've thought about, and so I plan to play it. When the only time I improvise is when I make a mistake. When you make a mistake, then now I'm improvising because I got to regroup. I didn't mean to play that. Everything else I meant to play, but the mistakes I did not mean to play. So now I'm improvising. And as I tell, my students, a monkey can improvise. I could set a monkey on the piano and he can jump up and down on the piano. He can throw things in the, that's an improvisation. Music it's very seldom an improvisation. What it is, it's a composition. We are composing new songs and melodies over the template, which happens to be the chord changes. And I think that the fact that we have called this improvisational music has done the music a disservice, because I find a lot of younger musicians think that all they have to do is improvise and they'll be great musicians. Well, like I say, a monkey can improvise. It takes many years of study and work and you know, pain to play this music, which is, like I say, compositional. Any great composition has a great beginning, it has thematic material throughout the composition, and it has a definite ending. That's a composition. If you hear somebody just playing and they end and the rhythm section didn't know they were ending, you know, you're doing everybody a disservice, including the fellow musicians that you're performing with. So that's two things that that I've been kind of harping on in the last year or so, because this music is too great. It's too great to have words and things put on it. As many of you probably know, I don't like to use the word jazz either. And people will ask me, well, what do you call it? Okay, well, I'll tell you. Music. Can't argue with that. It's music. You know, you can argue with whether it's good music, whether it's bad music, whether you like it or not, but it's music. I mean, I just heard a song, I guess I would call it a song, a thing I did with Sun Ra, the Sun Ra Orchestra. There was a 100-piece orchestra. I had, in the 60s, Sun Ra at one point asked all the musicians in town come down to Central Park. He was going to do this big 100-piece band in the park. And so I went down, I was a young musician, I went down and performed with him. And so I've known him many years. Then came the 80s, he sent out the word again. You know, this time he sent the word to me because I knew him at this point, but he was doing another 100-piece big band. So I had been a part of the first one, and I wanted to do a part of the second one. So I went down, I think we did it at the Ukrainian Labor Hall down on 1st Street, right off of 1st Avenue, somewhere down in the Lower East Side, and we did that. And I got a hold of a recording of it, which I had never heard until this year. And you'll see what my point was by going through all of this. What I heard, because now you have to, it's 100-piece band. That was Rashid Ali. He was leading the drum. There were many other drummers. John Gilmore was playing drums. There was Marshall Allen, the alto. There were many altos, many of everybody. Earl Davis was a part of it. Tommy Tarantine, just many musicians. We just came down. We all loved Sonny. You know, we loved Sun Ra. So, but what I heard, because I didn't remember it. I mean, that was what, 20-some years ago. So I didn't remember what it would. But what I heard, the cacophony of sound that it just started, and it sounded to me as if you could stand outside of the universe and listen to the sounds that the universe was making, with the comets and the planets and the black holes and the explosion, the supernovas, just everything. That's what it sounded like to me. Just and you'd hear music every now and then. You'd see a comet go by. You'd hear a phrase or something, you know. So music is the universe. Music is the universe. And you have to keep your ears and eyes open to the universe in order to move music further than what it is. Now what I hear mainly is what has gone on before, because with locked ears there's not too many musicians that are hearing beyond. I always like to say go beyond hearing. You have to go beyond your ears. When you go beyond your ears, you will hear something that only you can hear. And if your ears are not open, you will never be able to hear it. So I think that's very important.